glyphs, glyph-wise, I'm going Glyph of Penance, reduce penance cooldown, Power Word Barrier, increases healing received while in it by 10%, Shadow Word Death, because so many arenas have happened where we've gotten the guy down to, you can barely even see his health bar, and just almost dies, but then doesn't. And then it just goes on and on. And so 2 Shadow Word Deaths back to back, a lot of times can make the difference. This is wrong. Glyph of Smite. I need to change that. I'm going to be changing that for Dispel Magic, that heals the target for 3% every time you dispel them. And with how much I mash that button, that's going to be a lot of healing. Glyph of Mass Dispel. You need that because a lot of times you need when your Mass Dispelling is due to a Pally's Bubble or an Ice Block. Generally things that means that person's in trouble, and you want them to stay in trouble and not be protected. So you got to get that because you need to be pretty much instant with that. I recommend a lot of people, like if you see a Pally getting kind of low, what I'll do is I've got it on my mouse button here. I'll click it and I'll have it ready. Say this fountain is the Pally. He hasn't even bubbled yet, but I'm just like that. I'm ready to go. And then as soon as he does, well, obviously don't jump when you do it, but you're there. You're set, and everybody's happy. It's like it never even happened. So always be ready with the Mass Dispel. Helps out a lot. And then Glyph of Pain Suppression, you need to have that. A lot of times, Deep Freeze is a huge one. I'll use Pain Suppression in to kind of nerf the damage that's going to be coming in. Enchants, Intellect, Stamina, just the enchants are pretty self-explanatory. There's not too many that are, I don't really need to explain. I mean, if you can't figure out what enchants to get, you're struggling. As far as arena teams go right now, it's going to be a lot different once the patch comes out because there's going to open up a whole door of options for the priest. What I think is going to be ideal right now is a warrior, frost mage, disc priest. With the mage's peel abilities, and the warrior is always able to put out pressure. As long as the warrior is able to put out good pressure, the mage is putting out pressure. I mean, it's a deadly team. Mages just really go well with priests. Mages and rogues just complement priests quite well. So, just anything. I'm a fan of if you know good players, you have good players on your team, then you can make it work. Unless it's just a ridiculous comp, then I'll tell you to re-roll or go find a new team. But as far as Disc Priests, I mean, I don't think we're nearly as bad as everybody says we are, as long as you have your resilience. Our healing output has never been the question. When somebody's on your partner, you should be able to out-heal them. And another thing, you should be able to out-heal them if they're just on your partner. The main thing's always been our survivability and our mana. So you can take the precautions in your gear and your spec to help your mana, as well as mana burn their healer, to kind of change the whole idea of the arena. Because a lot of times the mana burns will. I don't even do them necessarily to the other healer. For instance, if it's a druid, I'll mana burn them just to get them to bear form, just so it'll change the way they're playing it. Because now in their mind, they're going to be kind of scared to be out in the open or be in line of sight of you while in caster, and because you'll mana burn them. So it affects their positioning, maybe not to where they want to be, maybe it's further away from their partner. Just it really can change the arena quite a bit. So definitely use your mana burn strategically. Life grip, I don't see life grip utilized nearly as much as it should. It really helps against melee if you're fighting I do it a lot of times too if I'm doing arenas with a mage, just so they can get more range against someone. Maybe they use their blink, I'll life grip them to me so that, again, there they are at range and the other person has a slow on them. So it gives them that much more time to free cast. A lot of time in the Blade's Edge arena, I've had my partner jump off the bridge and then life gripped him back up and gone on the other partner who was still up on the bridge. There's a lot of times where you can just use little strategic things like that really do turn the tide of an arena in your favor. Good things happen when you get to do little tricks like that. Kind of, what next? Let's talk about add-ons here. I'm a fan of not using too many. I see people who just go crazy with add-ons. I'm I think I have a few, but this one up top here, this isn't really applied to arenas at all. It's type panel. Here I've got grid. I've got my grid customized. The target has this blue square around them, and then if not target, as far as the it has corner indicators here. So if I bubble myself, the top right means I have a bubble on. The bottom right means I have the weakened soul debuff, so I cannot be shielded. See if I dispel that, then it's gone, so I know I no longer bubbled. Down here is a disease, and up here is a magic effect. And then I also have the icon for magic effects. This is a real nice tool because you can just see at a glance who has what on them, if you can bubble them, if they have weakened soul. It's a real nice, just at a glance way of telling, and it's a nice clean package. I've got it set up how I want. You can customize the color, size, all that jazz. Interrupt bar. This is awesome add-on. I'd recommend every priest out there gets this one. What it does is say this is the mage counterspell. It's got the icon of every class. You got kick, feral charge. Actually, I don't know what it's called. The feral one, mind freeze, kick, the warlock one, mage, and you can add others to this as well. I got to add the pally interrupt on here. Still haven't gotten around to that. But when they use it, it starts the cooldown. So, say a mage uses a counterspell. It'll start the 23-second cooldown on here. And it also puts a number on it. So, you know if this says it's halfway and going, you'd be like, alright, I've got that much longer to free cast. And then it really helps a lot with rogues because a lot of times I don't play with my WoW sound on. So there's no way of knowing if I got the fake cast off on the rogue. So you just take a look down here and be like, okay, I can't cast, or alright, I need 2 fake cast. And speaking of fake casting, if you're still not fake casting, that should be your #1 priority in what you're working on in arenas. Fake casting, I think everybody knows, but for those who don't, it's you start a heal and then you just kind of stop. And hopefully they'll use their counterspell on that heal, which is no longer a heal. So it'll just be a blanket counterspell, just counterspell or silence you for 2 seconds, and then you're able to cast for another 20 while it's on cooldown. That's what this is really for. If you don't fake cast, there's no point in really having an interrupt bar. But fake casting is huge. It really separates good players from just mediocre ones. So if you're not fake casting, that needs to be your #1 thing to work on. As far as, I don't want to get too basic here, but backpedaling, don't do that. Don't turn with your keyboard, turn with your mouse. It's a lot quicker. See, just turn. I don't know, my mouse sensitivity is really high. Or it's like this. Oh, hold on, I'll get to you. Yeah, so definitely use your mouse to turn. That's basic information. Hopefully everybody knows how to do that. Or knows to do that. That's kind of all I want to talk about in this video right now. We're going to be doing me and Rashiwi are going to be working on another project. We'll just be talking about upcoming PvP issues. We're just going to be, just sitting around bullshitting about the game. Like I said, we're just trying to build a PvP community. If you guys have any questions for us, we'll be glad to help you out, glad to answer them. Go check out his channel. And we'll have a lot more coming for the PvP world. So if anybody has any questions, ask me, ask him, ask someone, and catch you later.